Isn't that the girl that stabbed you? Andrew turned towards Paisley, who was dumbstruck. On the big plasma screen, Charlotte's face was shown in a model recruiting show that was on. She was playing volleyball with one more boy who looked pretty lost in Charlotte's boobs. Luca. Paisley's voice was so loud it boomed through the whole house. Soon, footsteps echoed through the hall and neared the living room. Damn, you have lungs. The blonde man came out with his hair in a messy bun, and his eyes still half closed, from the sleep he was disturbed from. How fast can we get to Sweden? I don't know, a day or two? The man answered. I'm leaving it to you. Andrew, get ready. We're going to visit someone. Paisley stood up from the couch and headed for her room. Andrew followed like a good dog and waited for his master by the door. The two teens waited in front of the big building, also known as the Technical High School, where Paisley's next target was at. Paisley, Andrew asked. Why are we here again? We're waiting for my dear Diana to come out. Paisley smiled, and just as she mentioned her name, Diana walked out the entrance with a big flock of boys behind her. And then on the bitch? Paisley asked, blocking Diana's path. What do you want? The blue-haired girl hissed. Sweetie, you don't hiss at the person that wants to help you. How the hell will you help me? Paisley smiled and looked behind the girl. The boys were staring in awe at Diana, but Paisley decided to play a little game. She looked at the boys, and her eyes shifted color. She discharged a wave of hormones stronger than ever before, making the boys and the nearby girls swoon over her. She gave them a smile, and they all squealed. Would you guys be nice and leave my dear Diana and myself alone? Paisley moved towards Diana and hugged her in an intimate way, making her blush. We have private matters to discuss. The boys and girls sighed and went away. Andrew just snorted from his standing place and motioned for the girls to get in the black car. Paisley smiled and pushed Diana in the back while she took the passenger seat. Andrew started the car and drove off. So, what do you want? Diana asked, annoyed. I have a proposal for you. I will not join your tag team full of dogs. You didn't let me finish. True. I want you to join my tag team, but I want you to find something out for me. I hear that your skills in getting information are the best. Why would I do that? Diana asked. You'll be let back in hell, Paisley said, looking out the window. As much as the offer sounds good, I decline. I want revenge on Egor, not a ticket back to hell. I will not let you lay a finger on Egor, nor on any other dog of mine. Neither will you hurt Luca or Vlad. I will make sure you never open that pretty little mouth of yours. Now, you'll either accept my offer or end up like an offering to Lucifer, Paisley shouted, making Andrew jump, and Diana shut up. The siren was scared for the first time in her life, and the only thing she could do was nod her head. Why are you nodding your head like a retard? Andrew asked. I accept. Diana's voice came out shaking. Paisley smiled and looked at her through the rearview mirror. Good. Now then, have a safe trip and find out about this as much as you can. Yeah, have fun. A black smoke enveloped Diana and she disappeared. Where'd you send her? Andrew asked. Don't worry, we'll see her soon. Andrew smiled and continued driving. Paisley continued staring out the window, slowly nodding off into a calm sleep. Paisley suddenly felt hot as she wiggled in her sleep. She felt something hard on her thigh and heavy on her body. She opened her eyes, and the only thing she could see were two blurry red dots. She blinked a few times, making her vision clearer, and her cheeks picked up the color of the beautiful ruby red eyes in front of her. Lucifer, Paisley stuttered. My sweet little Paisley, how have you been? Lucifer purred into Paisley's ear. Paisley held back a moan with great effort that was not put in vain. She looked at the man in front of her and blushed even more when she saw him shirtless. I've been good, Why are you half naked? Lucifer only smirked and leaned in closer to the girl. He gave her a quick peck on the lips and laid down next to her. He snaked his arms around the small body of the small girl and pulled her closer to him. I missed you. Paisley's cheeks burned from the sudden rush of blood. Her ears were probably red as well, and she could feel the blush creeping all the way down to her collarbones. Paisley was lost for words. She was quiet the whole time as Lucifer nuzzled his face in her hair. Paisley, please stop this game with the humans. You need to focus on something other than death. What? Paisley wiggled in his embrace and turned to face him. His eyes were sincere, and she couldn't believe that the almighty god of death just told her to stop killing. Are you normal? How do you expect me to stop when I'm this close to take out the person who killed me? The girl screamed. I know it's hard, but please. No way! Paisley stood up abruptly and got out of the bed she was in. You're the last person I'd expect this from. Paisley, please list. I don't want to. I'm going back home and you will not stop me in my revenge plan. As she said those words, a black smoke started enveloping her and small water drops fell to the ground. Lucifer's eyes widened as he saw Paisley's tears. To hide herself. Paisley turned her back to the stunning man and closed her eyes. I don't want you to end up like me. Paisley was speechless. Before she left, she could feel Lucifer's warm hand on her shoulder. Sorry. Demi says. Luca knocked on the big wooden door that leads to Paisley's purple bedroom. Go away. Come on, Paisley. I brought ice cream. Luca heard some shuffling, and the door opened to reveal Paisley covered by a big purple blanket. Even her head was covered. You have 5 minutes, she said, taking the ice cream. Here you go. Luca smiled, giving Paisley an envelope. Paisley hesitantly took it and opened it. Her eyes widened, and she looked up at the smiling blonde. The flight is tomorrow at 6 a.m. sharp. Don't be late, 'cause we ain't coming back for you. Luca winked and left the girl. Paisley could only stare at the tickets in her hand, for she was holding 2 airplane tickets to Sweden. She was finally going to end this long journey for good. Chapter 20. In the cold winter night, the air inside the big airport hall was starting to become more than suffocating as 6 teenagers walked through the crowd of unstable and very dull humans. Violet's heels clicked as they made contact with the tiled floor. Her eyes were focused on the blue-haired girl who was shaking in the snow-filled night outside. Her brown orbs were glowing as she smiled at the few boys lingering and waiting around. My, you're attracting attention as always. Mina giggled. Well, somebody's gotta do it. Paisley walked next to Luca with a big smile on her face. She was emitting such a happy-go-lucky aura that it made Andrew gag. Someone's happy, Diana said as the teens walked out. How couldn't I be? If you did your job right, I shall be bursting of joy in about 3 hours, Paisley answered. Diana rolled her eyes and started walking towards a big black van. What's up with the black vans? Paisley asked. You just noticed it? Andrew asked, narrowing his eyes. Paisley just sticked her tongue out at him. They all shuffled inside and Diana drove them off to their permanent home. The van pulled up in front of a smaller building. As everyone got out, they followed Diana inside. As they walked in, they found out that this is a 5-story building and 3 levels were theirs. They walked through the entrance and Mina almost jumped when she saw their first-door neighbor. Why are you so jumpy? Bogdan asked. No reason. Let's just go. The white-haired girl pushed him up the stairs. Welcome to your new home. Diana opened the door. Paisley was struck with awe seeing the beautiful living area in front of her. It was big enough to fit 3 storage houses. The walls were a deep sea green with beautiful flower vine motifs. The furniture in the room was white as snow with beautiful green accessories. A big fireplace was placed on the big wall. The kitchen was an open concept. And in the far right corner of the living space, white marble stairs glowed. Paisley smiled and walked up the stairs. Paisley, the girls' rooms are on the 2nd floor, Diana said. Paisley nodded and headed up. When she, Mina, and Masha made it up the stairs to the 2nd floor, they decided to play rock, paper, scissors for their rooms. Masha got the twilight-colored room that consisted of a queen-sized bed, an end suite, and a walk-in closet. Mina got the same type of room, but the walls were a deep pink. Paisley's room was a bit different. Her walls were a deep wine red color, with black roses and crows as the motifs. The bed was a king size and it was placed in the right corner under the window. She had an ensuite and a walk-in closet, but also there was one more door in her room. Paisley placed her things by the bed and went over to the mystery door. She opened it and a small staircase was in front of her. She slowly walked up and her eyes glittered in joy. The mystery door led to her own personal library, filled with books. She walked inside, mesmerized by the variety of books. Her eyes scanned every sheet carefully, until her eyes spotted a black envelope on the small table in the middle of the room. Walking over and getting the envelope in between her fingers, Paisley felt a burning sensation at the tips of her fingers as she opened it. Inside, a white paper was neatly folded. Paisley's eyes flew over it as she read the beautiful handwriting. Dear Paisley, I am really sorry for hurting your feelings last time you came. It was not my intention. I was just afraid that you'd end up like me. I don't want you to be an emotionless person and push all the people you care for away. Even if you are a demon, a dweller of the night, most of us become emotionless because of the revenge we seek. I shall not stop you, but I will warn you to keep in mind what I wrote here. So I am gifting you this library and Dracul so they can help you on this journey you have decided to take. But be careful. The girl you are after has shown sights of a seer, and she is ready for you. Please be careful, love, Lucifer. Only in that moment, Paisley saw the small dragon sleeping on the red Victorian sofa. She was gripping the letter with great force, but decided to place it back in the envelope and in a book near her. She placed the book on the shelf and looked at Dracul. She heaved a sigh and picked up the small dragon. She walked out the library, closing and locking the door behind her. She laid down on her bed and closed her eyes. Sleep was slowly taking over her, and before she even knew it, she was on her way to visit Lucifer in hell. Paisley woke up to a beautiful howl in the distant night. She was still sleepy, but for some reason, cold. She forced the sleep out of her eyes and propped herself up on her elbows. For some reason, she did not see Lucifer anywhere. She was in his room, or so she thought. Paisley got off the bed and decided to search for the young man. She decided to start from his bathroom, but found nothing. His bathroom was quite big, with black and white tiles, and a really big bathtub. It is still funny every time I think about it, Paisley said with a faint smile on her face. She heaved a sigh and decided to walk around the castle, checking the garden, Lucifer's study, even the dining hall. Paisley only found the castle empty. Why would he call me here if he's not even around? Paisley mumbled to herself. And how do you expect us to advance in this situation? Paisley heard the one voice of the man she was desperately looking for. It was coming from the door on her left. She peeked through the crack to see Lucifer's horns and a weird-looking human in front of him. My king, I mean no harm. It is my duty as a sin-eater to kill them. The human spoke. In which perspective have you got the right to attack a hellhound? Hellhound? Paisley's eyes widened. Is he talking about MY hellhounds? The human only smiled. He then took a look behind the devil in front of him and saw a small girl peeking through the door. My king, I should warn you, the riders are not satisfied with your choice for the queen. Is that the reason why you are rebelling and disobeying me? Through the whole conversation, the devil was calm. He never once raised his voice. My king, we mean you no disrespect. We just have a more suitable queen in mind. Oh, really? And what makes you think she is more suitable? The devil leaned forward, placing his chin atop his hands. Our candidate has already killed and earned her power through that death. The human smiled and looked at Paisley. The small brunette narrowed her eyes and sent a chilly glare towards him. Her eyes were changing in a different way than before. You are free to go, Lucifer said, but have this in mind. I will only have one queen of my choice, not yours. The man disappeared and Lucifer sighed. He leaned back in his throne and closed his eyes. Paisley walked into the room and stepped in front of the young devil. His hair was silky and his horns were beautiful. They were a dark black color that reminded her of the midnight sky, and they had the shape of a goat's horns. Lucifer was wearing black leather pants with a white dress shirt and dark brown boots. He might have worn a simple outfit, but it made Paisley's heart beat in an unruly fashion. You sure are calm, with a bride more capable than me being offered to you on a silver plate, Paisley said a bit sadly. Lucifer opened his eyes and smiled at her. He extended his hand towards her, and Paisley took it without hesitation. He pulled the small girl into his lap and caressed her cheek. I would never change you as my bride. No woman ever will be as beautiful as you are. Paisley blushed for the first time in a long time. She looked up at Lucifer and did the same thing he did to her, which caught Lucifer by surprise. Thank you for gifting me a beautiful library and letting Dracul stay with me. Paisley blushed a deeper shade of red as she made her next move. She pulled Lucifer's face closer and kissed him on the lips. Lucifer was having one surprise after another, but they were all most welcoming. He returned the kiss, but instead of Paisley feeling hot and aroused, Lucifer was beginning to experience the effect he left on Paisley. He pulled away from the kiss, giving Paisley a few moments to catch her breath, but in reality, he was doing the same. You really won't give up your revenge plan, will you? I thought you said that you won't stop me. Paisley pouted. Lucifer only chuckled. He leaned his forehead on Paisley's and closed his eyes. Yeah, I won't stop you, but only if you give me one more kiss. Paisley felt the blush creep up her ears, but nevertheless, she tilted her head up and kissed him. I promise to be safe and take care of myself and the rest of the gang. Lucifer smiled and continued kissing Paisley senselessly. Paisley was ready for a battle, but she was not ready for a war. After Paisley finished unpacking her things, she changed into a pair of wine-red jeans, black army boots, and a Sabaton hooded jersey. She patted Dracul on the head, and the small dragon opened his eyes. Violet, where are you going? To finish this never-ending cat-and-mouse game. Can I come with you? Of course, let's go. Dracul flew up onto Paisley's shoulder and they went down to the living area. Luca and Mina were waiting for her, while the rest went away already. When the two saw her, Luca picked up Paisley's coat and they went out to the car outside. So today it's a BMW? Paisley asked. Diana and the rest took the van. Mina shrugged. Come on, before the bitch changes her whereabouts, Luca said. The doors of the car clicked as they all sat inside. Luca started the engine and drove off to their destination. The whole ride was quiet and filled with anticipation. Paisley's eyes were fixed on the passing scenery. The memories flooded her mind for some reason. The one that stuck and didn't go away was the time when Charlotte and her were on a school field trip. They spent that whole day together and haven't slept a wink because they decided to call up the rest of their friends and sing to them. She remembered that one of those friends commented how the movie was good and never even paid attention to their singing. That time Faith wasn't in the picture, neither was Eugene. That time, it was just the two of them and no one else. Luca pulled up at the studio where Charlotte had her audition for a movie or TV show. Paisley wasn't sure which. Andrew, Bogdan, Egor, and Diana were waiting for them inside. As they met up, the deal was for Luca and Andrew to stick with Paisley, while the rest were making sure no one was disturbing them. Paisley, Luca, and Andrew walked to the dressing rooms and found Charlotte's. Paisley took a deep breath. Stay here, she said to the boys and walked in. Closing the door behind her, she leaned on the same one. Charlotte was sitting in front of the mirror. She wasn't fazed or surprised by Paisley's entrance. What took you so long? I have a life, not like you, Charlotte said. Thanks to you, I don't really have parents to finance me anymore. Not my problem. What do you want? Who? Dead? Charlotte started laughing. She stood up from the table and faced Paisley. In a quick flash, Charlotte tried to pin Paisley to the wall, but failed. Instead, Paisley pinned her to the opposite wall. Did you really think that your little speed powers and mind control will overpower me? Paisley asked. How did you know? How did I know about your powers? Well, that was easy. I sent a spy out to follow you, so basically I stalked you. Plus, you were all look at me, I can make them do whatever I want, and so on. Paisley said, disgusted. Her brown orbs were starting to get tainted red as they changed color. Paisley walked closer to Charlotte and took her neck in her right hand. I thought you would put up a better fight, given all your powers. Paisley pressured her neck, cutting of her air supplies. But I guess I was wrong. Charlotte was losing consciousness slowly, but Paisley didn't stop there. When Charlotte was weak enough, Paisley let her fall to the ground. She then materialized a small dagger in her hand and crouched down next to Charlotte. What should I carve into your skin? A nice little text saying how you murdered me, or maybe Satan's cross, so people think you were killed by some sect? Paisley smiled almost sickeningly. She ripped Charlotte's shirt to reveal her slightly tanned skin. She started writing on her chest in Latin, making the dagger burn the skin with every movement. Writing homicida, which means murderer, Paisley proceeded to Charlotte's back. She started carving the devil's cross in her back, enjoying the screams Charlotte gave her. It was music to her ears. Wow, she was turning into a sick being. Before Paisley could finish cursing her, Charlotte mumbled out a name, making the brunette finish her sentence fast. Help me, Sin Eater, Charlotte said. Paisley stood up and felt someone behind her. She barely evaded the man's attack. It was the human from Lucifer's throne room. You're the man that was offering Lucifer a new bride, Paisley said. and you are the disrespectful bitch that he chose as his queen." Paisley glared at the Sin Eater with pure hate. She was pissed beyond words, and the horns that grew out her head showed it. "You have our king's powers? What a foolish man, giving up a fragment of his own soul to an unworthy human. And what? Charlotte is worthy? The bitch who killed one of her friends for who knows what reason is worthy?" Paisley screamed at the man. She lunged herself forward and attacked him. He evaded every attack with ease, as Paisley blindly began hitting everything she could. She was in a state of rage. Even Charlotte got a few deadly blows from the furious brunette. The Sin Eater caught Charlotte's painful form as the girl struggled on the floor. The curse that Paisley placed upon her burned her flesh in sickening speed, making it rotten. The man clenched his fists in rage. "I've had enough," said. He then grabbed the enraged demon girl who was viciously trying to kill him, and with one painful grip, started eating her sins. Paisley screamed for dear life. The process of one's sins being erased is more painful than burning in the deepest parts of hell. Paisley felt like her limbs were being ripped apart slowly. With such enjoyment, she wanted to hurl. Luca and Andrew tried to break the door down, but it was no use. The Sin Eater had blocked them out. He threw Paisley's weak and almost lifeless body on the floor with disgust. "You do not deserve to be the queen of hell. I will make sure that you never see your dear devil again. We will meet again, lowly human," the man spat. He disappeared as he came, only this time taking Charlotte with him. The door was finally broken down and the two boys came rushing in. Paisley was in a state of daze. Her world was becoming gray, almost black, and she was on the verge of tears. She failed to kill Charlotte, but most importantly, she failed her promise to Lucifer, to keep herself safe. "Jean." My sobs were echoing in the cold darkness around me. I don't know for how long I was crying, but I still had tears to shed. I have failed the person who gave me another chance. I have failed life itself. How will I face Lucifer now? "Paisley." His voice called me. I didn't look up. I just moved myself into the fetal position and muffled my sobs. Lucifer knelt beside me and touched my hand that covered my cheek. "Paisley, why are you crying, my dear?" "How can I not cry? I failed to get my revenge, and I failed my promise to you." I decided to stop sobbing and sat up. Lucifer sat down in front of me. He pulled me in a hug and caressed my hair. "You did not break our promise. In fact, you helped me find out who was going to commit treason against me. So don't cry, my dear." My eyes were already puffy and red, but I didn't care. I looked up at the man who helped me, who gave me a new life. He stood up and dusted off his jeans. The devil is wearing jeans?" I giggled. Lucifer smiled and extended his hand towards me. "Come, let us be on our way. You'll have your chance for revenge, I promise. But right now, we have to attend a coronation ceremony, my queen." And you know what? I gladly took the hand, yet again. Looks like this cat and mouse game has just begun. But I know the next time we see Charlotte, I will kill her. I mean, hey, I did strike a deal with the devil.